Good morning, Fort Worth. It is 21 November. You've got Andrew and Leah King. Welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me this morning.
Thank you for being here. We got a lot to talk about.
A lot to catch up on. It's been a bit.
If you guys are joining us for the first time, Fort Worth Roots is a Fort Worth-centric podcast connecting our community with what's going on around the city of Fort Worth. Our goal is to strengthen small businesses and provide an additional stage for local musicians. I got a little clip I want to play for anybody out there that's a Theo Von fan and having a little bit of a struggle trying to get up and around this morning.
Police. Life just keeps happening. Life is like, hey, guess what? And you're like, what? And it's like, bam! More life. It just never stops giving you more life. That's life. Unlimited life. Hey, you want another scoop of life, boy? And we are happy to be alive, though. I'm happy to be alive because this is it.
It's our boy Theo Von. I saw that this morning. I was like, that's my motivation for the day. You're just going to keep getting that live. I don't know. Every once in a while I find a clip I just can't pass up. All right, let's get into the weather. You know, we didn't do a formal introduction. You are now the president of JPS Foundation and senior vice president of JPS Health Network.
That's right.
That sounds like a lot.
Well, it is. It is.
And what was your position last time we sat down?
So I know I was thinking about this, and the last time we visited, I was president and CEO for United Way of Tarrant County.
Yeah.
Just left there at the end of October
Okay.
and started at the JPS Foundation. So still basically some similarities amongst the population that we're looking to serve.
Sure.
And but this is certainly more of a healthcare directed focus.
Yeah, and I've got lots of questions about that. We'll get into that in just a moment. Let's get into our weather for the day, folks. We got today is going to be 72 for a high and 41. It was 41 for a low. It was chilly this morning.
Yeah.
I don't usually walk out of the house with a sweater on, but I did today.
Yeah.
I think Megan turned on the heater for the first time last night.
It.
Yeah,
It got pretty cool.
We usually keep that master room at like 62 degrees in the evenings, but
That's cold.
polar bears. We got some big old thick blankets that we like putting on the bed. Friday, 68 for a high, 45 for a low. Saturday and Sunday are going to be beautiful. 74 degrees on Saturday, 81 degrees on Sunday. No rain in the forecast, and I think I told you that we still have a slight chance of rain next Wednesday, 30%. I think that's down slightly. I think they were saying like 38% earlier this week. So we'll see what transpires. We'll keep you up to date. Today is National Great American Smokeout Day. It's got a picture of somebody breaking a cigarette, so I guess stop smoking. False Confession Day. I think I know where this is going, so I wanted to click on this. False Confession Day. It is False Confession Day on November 21st. This is a perfect day for people who want to test others through false confessions. I thought that was April Fool's.
I was just thinking the same thing, that I thought that was April Fool's.
Okay, I thought this was going to be something else, like bringing awareness towards people forced into a false confession, but not the case. All right, Great American Smokeout. The American Cancer Society sponsors the Great American Smokeout on the third Thursday of November 21st, challenging smokers to give up cigarettes for 24 hours. Just 24 hours, you can do it. If you or a loved one smokes cigarettes, consider joining the movement and take the first step towards quitting cigarettes. I heard something interesting about this a while back. People that start, stop, quit, pick it back up, they might feel like failures, but every single time you go through an iteration of that, you're creating neural pathways in your brain and you're making it easier to one day actually stop. So quitting for 24 hours might seem trivial, but it might give you that tool that you need later to actually quit smoking.
Yeah.
Famous birthdays. I put a note here for myself. There were no celebrity birthdays this Thursday. Bunch of Twitch stars, YouTube stars, pop singers that I don't know. All right, we got, there he is. There's Matt Stubbs with Sky Viper with our morning traffic report. Mr. Stubbs.
Good morning, Roots.
Good morning. How are we flying up there in Sky Viper?
Beautiful. It's just a little tensious up here because Candy's upset again.
Oh, no. What did you do this time?
I accidentally called her Randy.
That'll do it every time. Yeah, it's Candy's our pilot. Matt just calls the weather out, looking out the window, but Candy is our pilot. She's got
And she can be contentious at times.
Well, Candy told me that you're the problem, but we'll get to that later. How's traffic looking out the window there?
All right, man. We're going to start in downtown Fort Worth at Spur 280 heading into the city, running smoothly. So there's a little light congestion right there at Lancaster Avenue. I'd like to also say happy birthday to Troy Aikman.
Happy birthday, Troy Aikman.
On Loop Mound 820 westbound. Moderate delays right at Blue Mounds Road, but it's clearing up as we speak, so you should be good there in the next 10 minutes. I-20 eastbound, traffic's moving slowly, right around Bryant Irvin Road.
There you go.
Street.
Good job.
There's construction there that's causing some bottlenecks, so be careful there. And then I-35 southbound, we got heavy congestion near Heritage Trace Parkway due to an earlier accident. So expect about 15-minute delays. You guys sound great this morning.
Thank you. You sound great too. What you know of anything going on this weekend that we need to be aware of? Events, shows,
like rock shows?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. I don't like rock and roll, man.
That's not true.
Yeah,
I know that to actually be untrue, but that's fitting because today is tell a lie day or something
False
like that.
confession.
Tell a lie day?
It's false confession day. So that fits. But is it really? Is it really Troy Aikman's birthday? Because we pulled up celebrity birthdays and he didn't make the cut.
Troy Aikman's birthday, 57.
Well, okay, we're gonna have to use a different site because it was all YouTube stars and.
Yeah, you got to
like
fire your producer, man.
Okay, I'll let him know. But he's the one that picked you for the pilot job.
Oh, well, don't fire him. I'm getting paid too well for this.
I know it. All right, bro.
All right, I gotta massage Candy's calves.
Okay.
So.
All right. Keep it PG because HR and whatnot.
Exactly.
All right, brother. You have a good weekend. We'll see you Monday.
All right. Bye. Love you.
Love you. All right. So that's Matt Stubbs. He is the host of the Jerry Jonestown Massacre podcast, the longest running, best podcast in North Texas. Get them on all streaming services. That is Sky Viper, our helicopter that we picked up. There was a show called The Russ Martin Show. Okay. You've lived in the area long enough. You've probably heard of it.
Absolutely.
It died off a long time ago, but they had Alfie McCoy's Black Thunder. And so when we got ready to do the morning show, I said, let's see if we can find a traffic helicopter. And we were actually able to recover Black Thunder, get its airworthiness certificate, and get it back in the air.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah, it was a lot of money, so I hope people appreciate that. Yeah. Let's get Sky Viper out of here. It's a whole thing. Thanks, Matt, and we'll see you next week. All right, today in history, November 21st, Ella Fitzgerald wins Apollo's Amateur Night. At 17 years old, Ella Fitzgerald goes to New York's Apollo Theater to dance on stage for Amateur Night, but opts to sing instead. She wins the competition with her rendition of Hoagie. I cannot say that word. I don't know what that is. Anyway, it was great, and everybody loved it, and an American music legend is born. That was back in 1934. And then there's some other stuff here. MGM Grand Fire back in 1980. Fire at the MGM Grand Hotel in Las Vegas killed 87 people.
Wow.
In the early morning, a fire breaks out in the ground floor deli at the luxury hotel casino MGM Grand and quickly spreads as it hits flammable plastics in the casino.
My goodness.
See, that's what they should keep the chips. They should still be wood.
Yeah.
It's
going to burn too.
That's what happens. That would burn. Speaking of burning, on to Fort Worth news. Fireworks caused gunfire scare at a Fort Worth school. Thank God it was just...
Oh, wow.
They've got a picture of M80s. I don't think you can buy those anymore, can you?
No, I don't think so.
That's when I was a kid. They outlawed those things. Anyway, fireworks set off inside a Fort Worth Independent School District high school caused a scare on Wednesday. Now, I read through this article earlier, and it doesn't mention which school. It says
South Hills High School.
Oh, okay. Read better next time, Andrew. Some South Hill High School students thought they heard gunfire on campus around 9 a.m. Instead, Fort Worth ISD said a student set off fireworks in a boys' bathroom. The incident reportedly set off smoke alarms and prompted a lockdown, but no one was hurt. Police responded to the school to investigate and identified a suspect. Parents also received an automated call and email from the district about the incident. It said the person responsible would face disciplinary actions.
Wow.
Maybe more than that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
In this day and time.
Mess around with,
I know. When I was going through high school, it probably would have been like, okay,
right.
You're, ISS.
In school suspension. Right. Absolutely. But
nowadays,
today, no.
I don't know, man. So this was cool. Circle K is offering customers 40 cents off per gallon of gas this week. The Canadian.
Do we have Circle K's?
We do. I don't know where they're at.
We do.
Is this? Yeah, there's the local list right there. Circle K locations around the Fort Worth area: 4150 Bryant Irvin, 10880 North Beach Street in Fort Worth, 8000 Southwest Loop 820 in Benbrook, and then 500 South Saginaw Boulevard in Saginaw. That's repetitive.
It's pretty good.
And then it goes on to tell about the 10 cheapest gas stations in Fort Worth, and most of them, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the 10 are Walmarts or Murphy USA's. So if you see a Walmart or a Murphy USA, check to see if their gas prices are the lowest in town. I know there's one on my way in from off of 199 coming in through Lake Worth. And there's a Murphy USA right there, and I always stop there because it's usually like 10 cents cheaper than everybody else.
Always best prices.
Yeah. Not a sponsor. Just thought you guys might want to know. 40 cents off at Circle K's this week. Suspect serial arsonist arrested after 3 Fort Worth apartment fires. Did you hear about this?
I did.
A homeless man is facing felony charges after allegedly setting fire to 3 apartment buildings in East Fort Worth. Fire crews from Battalion 4 responded to separate fires. The first on November 15th was at Hornaday Circle. The next was at Hornaday Circle, different address. And November 18th was at 1400 Vanderbilt W. That's weird how that's written out. Fort Worth Fire said a building at one of the complexes collapsed, destroying the residents' property.
This is awful.
It's pretty bad. We try to pass up stuff like this, but I had seen stuff like on the arson guy all week, and I was like, well, let's go ahead and tell people about that. In world news, of course, it's all war-torn stories, but we usually glaze right over the top of those because you get enough of that throughout your day through social media and whatnot. So this is what I found in world news. Australia's parliament considers legislation banning social media for under 16s. What do you think about that, Leah?
Tell you what, I don't think it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's not going to make me super popular with the under 16s, but
yeah.
It's a lot of pressure on these kids today, and that's one less thing they need to worry about.
There are thousands of crazy stories, right, of awful situations that happen because kids were on social media, and I think one is probably too much. But at the thousands of bad stories that we have since the invent of MySpace,
right.
It might be time to make a change, right?
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't gotten better.
No. Right. Definitely get worse, I think, without any kind of guidance. So, and then we always try to do some space news, and then we'll get into our stories about what's happening in Fort Worth today and over the weekend here in the Fort Worth area. That's our Thursday episode objective. We want to make sure you guys are ready for the weekend because this is our last show for the week, and then you got to agonize and wait for us to come back to you Monday. Gemini meteor shower is underway. Here's what to expect from one of the best meteor showers of the year. First of all, let me make sure I cite the source here, which I didn't do with the other ones. Brett Tingley. This was updated 4 hours ago, and this is on space.com. One of the most reliable meteor showers to light up our night sky each year has begun. The annual meteor shower runs from November 19th through December 24th, with the peak coming overnight on December 13th through 14th. According to the American Meteor Society, during the peak, over 100 meteors can be seen per hour under the right conditions. So check that out. Which direction do you need to look? Probably eastward, right? Isn't that what you do?
Mark your calendars.
Yeah, check that out. Go outside,
cool
look up.
Yeah, right.
All right, we got one call in today from our buddy Itchy Richie and the Burning Sensations, Mr. Richard Keller, and he has prepared for us little clips throughout the week, and this one is to get you ready for the weekend. Let's see what we got here.
It is now time for Itchy Richie's random fact of the day.
The human circulatory system is more than 60,000 miles long if stretched out straight. This means you have it in you to catch a local show this weekend.
Itchy Richie and the Burning Sensations. And that's what it says at the beginning. I had to ask him yesterday. I was like, what are you saying at the intro? It's Itchy Richie's random fact of the day.
Okay.
So there you go. Good deal. Thank you, Mr. Richard Keller. Leah, can you tell us a little bit about your role up at JPS?
You bet. Happy to. It's a unique role in that we, and myself and my team, we're there to provide support for the hospital itself. A lot of people know that JPS is the county hospital, but there's a lot that people don't know, and I'm still learning, having only been there a few weeks now. But what I've been most impressed by is what we all know, which is the hospital is there for everybody, regardless of your ability to pay. But it's also a hospital of choice for our local law enforcement, first responders.
I've heard that. For trauma, correct?
Exactly. If they experience any type of emergency, God forbid, and we know those things unfortunately happen from time to time, but our team is there and ready and able to provide exceptional care for first responders. Our team is also there to provide additional financial support because we're one of the fastest growing counties in the country, and with the population growth, though the hospital does receive tax revenue, it's not nearly enough to cover all of the expenses that are happening. We know just things are more expensive in general, but when you add the additional people into our area, we know that the needs and demands on getting the quality equipment and staff and keeping them trained and ready to support the needs of the community are paramount. And so that is what our team is focused on, is making sure that we have the resources to be able to do that.
And how, I don't know if this is something we can get into in the morning show because it seems like it might be a whole can of worms, but where does the primary funding for JPS come from? Is it all county?
No, and that is something that a lot of people don't understand. Just over 30% of the funding comes from tax revenue.
Okay.
The rest of it comes from either self-pay, private pay, grants, and fundraising and gifts. And so there's a large gap of unfunded, uncompensated care that happens, which is why the hospital has to be very creative in all of its approaches to be able to identify alternative funding sources, because the tax revenue doesn't come close to covering all of the needs and expenses.
Okay, so we need to do some fundraisers.
That's exactly right. That's right.
So when you say tax revenue, you're talking about state tax?
I'm talking about taxes that people in Tarrant County pay. So for homeowners, when you get your tax bill, you will see the school district, the hospital district, the community college, and the water district, and the county itself. And so those funds are doled out on percentage basis, and the hospital district does receive tax revenue, but again, it's just about a little over 30% of the overall budget that is necessary. So that 70%'s got to come from somewhere.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's wild. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Because of the way the funding is structured, does JPS just cater to Tarrant County residents?
It's the primary population that we see, but we also know that in smaller and rural communities, if there's a significant emergency, that oftentimes that those patients are brought here, not only because of our Trauma One certification, but also our proximity to some of the more rural counties that may not have Trauma One hospitals within their community. So it is not uncommon for us to see people outside of Tarrant County as well.
That's a big job.
It is.
That's a lot.
We're very fortunate to have such a tremendous resource here.
We're going to get into that a little bit deeper here in just a moment. Let's get through these events so we can get you informed about what's happening today and this weekend. I've been wanting to tell you guys about this. I've dropped a couple of excerpts in there throughout the week, but Shaw's Burgers today at 11 o'clock. Go up there and get yourself on camera. You're invited. The countdown is on. America's Best Restaurants. They were nominated as one of the best restaurants in America, and they're going to be filming that on location at Shaw's Burgers today at 11 o'clock. So go in there early, get a table, and get yourself on TV.
Get on camera, right?
It's located over there on Magnolia, Shaw's Burgers. All right, from our buddy Brad Chisholm over there at Boulevard Brew, Pistachio, I'm sure I'm not saying that right, Pistachio will be playing at the Brew this Friday, November 22nd from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Fantastic three-piece instrumental group from the Fort Worth area. The Brew offers a very relaxing vibe with draft beer and wine. So Boulevard Brew is a coffee shop, but in the back it's got a little venue. There's a bar back there with bar taps.
That's super cool.
It's really fun. I call it the mullet because it's business in the front, party in the back.
Makes sense.
Yeah. It's located just off of River Oaks Boulevard. Just look for the big old Boulevard Brew sign next to Josefina's Mexican Food Restaurant and Atomic Then and Now. Then, November 30th, this is a little bit in the future, join Houck Walker Originals at 11 a.m. for a Paint Your Own Christmas welcome sign at Boulevard Brew. Angela is going to supply everything you need. Boulevard Brew will offer delicious coffee and treats. There's 4 signs to choose from. Go to Boulevard Brew on Facebook and click on the event to sign up before Wednesday, November 27th. DIY sign painting classes are a fun and creative way to learn a new skill. So check that out. And that's at Boulevard Brew. And they want you to go find them on Facebook for the event and click on that for more information. This is, let's see here, Artemis Funk and Alfred Banks. This is going to be at Cicada, November 22nd at 8 p.m. Artemis Funk is an Arlington-based 8-piece alternative jazz blues with some R&B and a little rock fusion band. Alfred Banks, this man is a multi-award-winning, Grammy-nominated New Orleans rapper-singer. He has garnered acclaimed. Okay, we're not going to read the rest of this. It sounds awesome. Go check this thing out. It's going to be at Cicada tomorrow at 7 p.m. And more information can be found on their Facebook page. Just look for that event. Let's see. We got Van Darien at Heim Barbecue on the river tomorrow at 5 p.m. 5 to 8. What to expect? Free live music at Heim Barbecue on the river. Seating is first come, first served. All ages are welcome. Free parking. Go check that out for the Van Darien. I think I caught her up in Weatherford. There's a brewery up there, and I'm blanking on the name, but they've closed it since then. Incredible artist. Definitely want to check that out if you get a chance. The Matthew Show solo at Fort Brewery this Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Let's see if there were no details on that, but yeah, if you've never caught the Matthew Show, that's another great local pillar of the music community. Definitely something worth checking out. And then I dug a little deeper. I asked Bing, Auto Copilot, whatever. I was asking her for updates, and this is what she gave us. Cirque, Spirit of Christmas at Glass Cactus, starting at 6 p.m. That's Friday, November 22nd. Also Friday, TCU Lady Horned Frogs volleyball versus Texas. Texas Tech Red Raiders at Ed and Ray Schollmeyer Arena, starting at 6:30 p.m. Saturday, November 23rd, Fort Worth Symphony Orchestra, home for the holidays at Bass Performance Hall, starting at 2 p.m. and going to 8. Or, excuse me, no, it's starting at 2 and 8. There's 2 showtimes. Sunday, November 24th, Fort Worth Opera, La Traviata. There we go. At Bass Performance Hall, starting at 2 p.m. And then Panther Island Ice. Enjoy outdoor ice skating at Panther Island Pavilion. Open from noon to 10 p.m. at Panther Island Ice. That is going to be Sunday, November 24th. And that's probably one that they're going to keep going.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would think. I know they used to do it at the drive-in. I don't know if they're still doing that.
No, that one's gone, but the one in Stockyards is.
Oh no! There's so many cool things that we're losing. I went by the old baseball field.
Yeah.
I'm blanking on the name.
LaGrave,
yes. And as you're driving up, you're like, that can't be it. It's too nice. There's no way we're tearing that down. And you get a little closer, and you see that the parking lot's blocked off, and there's sheet metal hanging off the awnings. And I don't know how long that thing has been unused, but but it's just crazy.
Many years.
Really?
Yes.
The exterior of the building looks so good.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. The Tarrant Regional Water District owns that and has had a couple of unsuccessful times at selling it so that baseball could come back, but for whatever reason it never took off. Meanwhile, it's cost hundreds of thousands of dollars in security expenses each year, and at the end of the day, the water district isn't in the business of baseball.
Yeah, that's right.
And so without having any successful local clubs or ownership be able to come in and take over that, the safest thing to do, because it is quite dilapidated and very, very dangerous once you get on the inside, is to right now there's an auction going, so there's some of the things that like light poles and names that some branding on there if people want that for nostalgic reasons, and but soon that will come down. Just tragic.
I took a drive over there, and I talked to the security officer that was just kind of hanging out under a tree trying to catch some shade, and she pulled over to me, and I said, I was asking, would it be okay if I came back here and took some pictures? She's like, you're actually not supposed to cross the barrier that you just stepped over. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And I had my hand recorder, my Tascam, and I said, no, this thing's not on. And I showed her the screen. I said, but I had some questions. And she didn't know anything.
Yeah.
And anything she did know, she didn't want to talk about it. So she told me, she said, I'll give you a phone number and you can call them and ask. So I did. I talked to the River Authority, whatever it is, and they were like, you can't go in there.
No, it's really unsafe. And we had, so I sit on that board. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yeah. And so there was drone footage, because it really is the safest way to be able to see and once you get in there, you can see that there over the years, people have stripped literally every piece of wire and copper and found places to live, and it's not a safe space.
If I was homeless, that is where I would live.
Yeah. Many people have tried.
Well, and whenever I contacted them, I was like, look, people are going in there and taking pictures. You're telling me it's unsafe. So hear me out. What if Fort Worth Roots reached out to the Fort Worth Weekly and the other, Star Telegram and tried to get like a group of people together and invite like photographers from Fort Worth to come out one particular day, and we take a little tour through there. It's escorted. All safety measures could be implemented, and that way it'll cure all these people from wanting to go in there without permission. And she's like, nobody's going to go for that.
Yeah, that's not happening. First of all, the attorney's never going to approve it. So.
Right, yeah. She's like, I'm sorry, it's just not even worth my time to pass this message up. And I'm like, okay, well,
but
thank you.
But they could probably share the drone footage with you, which would it is actually pretty cool to see.
Well,
and it does give you a sense of what it's like in there.
I wasn't lying to her. We're getting plenty of pictures from the inside, because these photographers are just like, I'm going in there. Which can be dangerous, because I don't know this for sure, but there was a guy that got injured in one of the grain silos recently. Did you hear about that?
That was the strangest thing. I mean, I have so many questions about that.
Right, yeah.
And there wasn't a lot of information other than they found him inside of there. He fell in.
It took like a 10-foot fall.
Yeah. Like, why were you there? How long were you there? Did you? Tons of questions.
And I don't know that this is true, but a photographer friend of mine told me, we were talking about that, and he's like, he's probably in there just taking pictures. And that's what got me thinking, like, these guys, they want cool shots. Yeah. They're going to go places other people can't.
He's lucky.
He's very lucky, yeah. And he probably, if he doesn't, he should feel a little bit bad for all the... It was a huge effort getting him out of there safely.
Absolutely.
And so, be warned, people. If you go do something like that and you hurt yourself, it's going to be very embarrassing.
And by the way, don't go alone.
Don't go alone. Didn't he have somebody with him?
Maybe. I don't know. That part
I don't know either. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And of course, we record every Monday through Thursday here at the new Hoppin', located next to Doc's Record, with their 58 self-pour taps on the wall. Great event space, wonderful outdoor area, located just down the street conveniently from everything else that's going on here in the Foundry. So if you haven't stopped by the Foundry yet, there's everything that you want to get into down here. Great food, great music, lots of events. Of course, Doc's Records, Thrive Apothecary right down the street will also be throwing in for this week's giveaway. Thursday at Hoppin', of course, it's Casamigas, $6 Casamigas margaritas and $2 Modelo's. Friday, they got stand-up comedy, 8 to 9 with Thime Webb Food Truck outside. That's a great show. I caught the last one. They do it once a month. It's a lot of fun. Don't miss it. 8 to 9 Friday comedy show. Try to remember that. Kendall Eugene from The Voice. You ever watch that show where they do music and whatnot? Well, Kendall Eugene was on that show, and he's going to be here at Hoppin' from, 4 p.m. That's what time Kendall Eugene will be here. And then Monkey Love Trio. Monkey Love Band Trio. It's weird. It's a weird name. I love it. They'll be here 6 to 9 Saturday. So check that out. All right. Well, so my question's about JPS, and I know that you mentioned you're a little bit new to the position, so you might not have all the answers now. I do. I live on the outskirts of Fort Worth. My studio is located here in Fort Worth, and we're very Fort Worth-centric. But me and the lady had to find us a property that would fit our financial needs, and that meant moving to the outskirts. People that live on the outskirts, you said that they can utilize JPS services in an emergency?
We're the county hospital. They can come in. There are a variety of services, not only limited to emergencies. And really, we would rather you be on the preventative side. And so even if you don't have health insurance, one of the things I was thinking about as we were sitting here, particularly relevant to your audience, the musicians in particular, I was sitting here struggling, trying to remember the name of this initiative. It's relatively
I remember
new.
us talking about it.
Visit Fort Worth and the hospital have come together to provide resources to connect these musicians who often don't have access to health care.
Are you connected with Tom Martins?
Yes,
okay,
exactly.
Good.
Exactly. So Tom at Visit Fort Worth and Dr. Duncan and Shannon Fletcher from JPS came together and put together this initiative to help educate the musicians on how they can access the services and resources. But it's no different than any other member of our community, whether you have a health insurance or not.
It's something like Hill Fort Worth or something like that.
So, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But there is a program out there for you Tarrant County musicians that do not have health insurance. They have a low-cost option for you guys. And is there a website they can go to get?
I'm sure there is. I don't know what it is. Isn't that terrible?
No, that's okay. But yeah, just Google it.
Just go to
JPS and look at their services. And if you can't find it online, give them a call at JPS, and somebody will be happy to get you steered in the right direction.
That's right.
Fair enough?
That's perfect. Perfect. Thank you. Thanks for the save.
Are there any other medical programs similar to that for the community? Say there's somebody that wants to find realistic health care. Because I know whenever I had my first business, my goal was to get all of my guys health insurance. And they had just rolled out the Affordable Care Act. And so I got online with that. And what I found was that it was super cheap. But the guys that were making $11, $12 an hour, they could not afford.
Super expensive for them.
They still couldn't afford it.
Right.
And then my managers who were running the cruise were making like $15, $16 an hour. They made too much.
Right.
They couldn't
That's
qualify because now they made too much.
Right.
So whenever I see stuff on Affordable Health Care Act or whatever, I just glaze past it. Is there anything that JPS offers that could help someone secure insurance?
Yeah. Just have your listeners look up JPS Connect, and JPS Connect is there for people of all income levels, primarily those who either don't have health insurance or don't have access to health insurance. And it is also another way to provide coverage for them and for their families that is more affordable. And again, I don't know all of the details if it's sliding scale or what the nuances are, but you can call in. The team there is super friendly. I got to spend yesterday in some training and with one of the people who oversees that program, and they are there waiting to talk to individuals to answer questions on how they can access JPS Connect. So
Awesome.
Something easy to Google, and phone number will come right up. Call in, and they'll give you all the details.
Can you and I set up at JPS at some point, you, me, and maybe another one of your friends from JPS?
Fantastic.
And do like a full JPS breakdown?
We really need to, because there's so many things that happen with women's health care, especially for new moms, all kinds of things for infants. the oncology program there is incredible. The behavioral health program is exceptional. It's one of the largest training hospitals in our area, and so there's so much happening. And I would love for your listeners to be more informed about all of the things that are happening there, and not just so that they're informed, but so they can access those resources. They're there for all of us, and the more of us that know about it, the better and the healthier our community is.
Yeah. Well, and with everything going on around us, I think people get busy enough that they don't think about healthcare until it's a real big issue.
That's right.
You kind of want to get ahead of that.
Let's be preventative. That's right.
All right. So look forward to that. We'll be scheduling something with our friends and putting out more information about JPS. If you guys don't know, we do a drawing once a week. We had a big win this go around. It was a dozen Mama Lou tamales, a Fort Worth Roots tumbler with the logo on it. We put $50 cash in that, and then we had a 50-minute foot spa treatment from the Body Scrubbery. That was all one prize that we did. So we're trying to do stuff like that every week. I was over at Thrive Apothecary yesterday. If you guys don't know, I don't know if I've even had a chance to tell you this. Every Wednesday, I'm going to be here at Hoppin', just talking to businesses around the Foundry. The Foundry is a group of businesses located over here off of Carroll and Weisenberger, and then I think White Settlement is another bordering street. So anyway, you'll be able to catch me around here, and if you are a business owner or you work at one of these places, you're going to see this face. You're going to see this face running around talking to you guys on Wednesdays. Anyway, I was at Thrive Apothecary yesterday, and they were nice enough to give us a little sample of one of the products they distribute there legally in the state of Texas, which I'm still getting used to that, but that will be one of the things that we're including in our Monday drawing. I'm going to spend the weekend trying to get some more gifts together for you guys.
That's great.
If your name is already in the spinny thing, still go to our Instagram. I'm going to make a post this morning saying comment here. If you comment on that and your name's already in the spinny thing, we'll put another ticket in there for you. If this is your first time hearing about it, go to our Instagram, look for the post we're going to make this morning, and comment on it, and we'll add your name to it. So, and that's going to be every Monday we do a drawing, and we're just constantly bugging people like, what do you want to put in there? What do you want to put in there?
That's great.
It's going to be fun. Thank y'all so much for listening to the Fort Worth Roots Podcast Morning Show. And as you move through today, we hope that you will choose love and gratitude every chance you get. We'll see you next week. Until then, good day.
A great day in the morning. A great day in the morning. A great day in the morning. Oh, yeah. She's fine. Great day in the morning.